Hi, and welcome to this new podcast. My name is Ricardo Marin, and I will be your host. Today we're going to talk about democracy. What is it? How does it work? Advantages and disadvantages. How does people see it? How does it affect the society? How can we improve it or only get more involved in it? First of all, I would like to explain what is democracy. And the reason I would like to explain what is it is because we all have the idea that all the people know the meaning of it and what does it implies to be inside of this type of system. May sound weird, but it's more than going out to vote and leave all the work to our elected officials. Governed by the people, or rule of the people, is the definition that has passed through the years, coming from his Greek origins, demos, and Croatia. But any of us can interpret it in many different ways. So, here's more exact definition for democracy. It's how a society is run by each member inside of it. All of them are entitled to vote for representatives through fair and free elections. Okay, for now, I think we all got that. However, it implies to take part in the decisions made for the society, be an active citizen. And here's when we get confused. What is to be an active citizen? Or how does it affect democracy? Maybe this question passed through your mind. Or not. I don't blame you. This is the main reason why people don't understand democracy. Also, there are many factors that affect it. The real problem is people don't understand politics or any ideas about citizenship, and it's not their faults most of the time. Yeah, you can learn about politics by reading, but all this knowledge had been given in the school. How to make decisions about the policy choices, to voice concern, obviously peacefully. Know the proper use of authority, etc. As I said a few seconds ago, the only way we can get an authentic democratic system is by the active participation of the people, as citizens, in the politics and in the society. In other words, our labor as citizens is to ensure that our government actually works and the laws and procedures apply equally to all of us. Because of lack of knowledge of how to be a citizen and the lack of education, it is easy that our representatives run the country as they want, not be capable of hold our leaders accountable for their policies and their conduct in office, given all the power above us and the country. A clear example. Some time ago, most of the Arab countries were run by an authoritarian government, supposing that they were a democratic government. There was elections, but not competitive and free. Yeah, they can vote, but only for one candidate. Also, the lack of equal rights, equality before the law, civil liberties, and human rights made not possible to achieve a true democracy. And there is no necessity to look over the other side of the world. Another example here in America is Venezuela, both in the same condition. So, some of you may have asked, what about representative governments? And are they the same as democracies? No, they are not the same. But nowadays, this is the closer we can be from a democracy. In my opinion, the democracy that was applied in Greece was the most viable way for a city or a community to prosper. Everyone had the right and obligation to actively participate in the development of society. However, just as it is modified for the good of the citizens, the system of government also had to change. The population grows, the needs change, the competition between different nations is greater. It is no longer possible to take in account each member of a community. We began to see for the good of the majority, for what the majority thinks, what they choose. I do not say that this is a good or bad, nor that is the most effective way to lead the nation, but We have it. Yes, we can have something better, but it will take time to achieve it. Many things go hand in hand. We're talking about how that democracy has changed over the years, and one of the factors that modified or support the system of the government is the media. The media and the business have high impact on today's democracy, from advertising for a candidate or a political party to influence the decision of their customers that buy their products or their services. As I mentioned a moment ago, the democracy of today seeks to fill other needs either of the majority or only for an exclusive minority. Which brings us to a clear example, my beautiful and beloved Mexico. Mexicans have known for decades how the average is manipulated by the government, how the exclusive minorities benefit from the election of a certain candidate or party, how some companies benefit by sponsoring candidates with products or services that they sell. There are too many ways in which the media has supported the political parties and their candidates, here in Mexico and elsewhere, but it is still accepted even if it's not entirely legal. You know, a long time ago my father told me that there are three things that cannot be talked about without differing with another person, and it was religion, politics, and soccer. Leaving aside football and religion, I agree with what my father told me, because basically, to differ with another person and try to reach an agreement is politics, or democracy. In Mexico, we talk about politics all the time, how it disappoints us, how they leave things on the air or incomplete, what false promises they make. It is a constant debate of how bad our system of government is and how our democracy fades more and more. And it's also our fault as citizens for not ensuring that our system works. And I know that we all are afraid of facing the government. We know his power. We know what had been done years before the March of the '68, the 43 Normalist. Um, what can I tell you? The rule of the people, our democracy, have been taken out of the people. It is clear that our system of government is not a democracy, and it is impressively broken. However, I think that it's not completely lost yet. Every time I see more participation of independent candidates, I do not mean that the independent candidates are better than the candidates with the popular parties, but it means that there are more active people, people who began to investigate, ask, acquire knowledge about what suits the country, more active citizens. And as he's told, Rome was not constructing one day. It would take time, it would take effort. I think that it could take lives, I don't know. But Mexico can change. A democracy system can be upgrade or only change, I think so. But well, thank you for listening into this podcast. This is Ricardo Marin. See you later.